Hey guys, weekend energy update, and we have a very active weekend of astrology playing out this weekend as we close out the month of May, enter the month of June 2024, heading towards Gemini season. And we do have a very strong Gemini Mercury energy this weekend. Mercury is coming into an exact conjunction with the planet Uranus in the sign of Taurus on Friday. And then on Sunday, the Sun and Venus will come into exact alignment together, a new cycle of love and money underway. So we're going to talk all about that in our report for the day as well. We do have a lot going on. We got a lot to bring together in our report for the day. It's likely to be a pretty busy weekend. Let's get into it, you guys. Let's talk about this energy in all the details in true Gemini Mercury fashion and see what things might be looking like for us as we head through the weekend. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Friday, May 31st, 2024. My name is Aubrey. This is your astrological outlook of the weekend, where we are narrating the shift of the ages, talking about everything that we have going on astrologically this weekend and how it may translate into the things that are unfolding around us as we head towards next week. And we've got a lot happening this weekend, as I said in my intro, and I'm sensing a bit of indecisiveness. Caught in between, pulled in two directions. It's coming through in kind of like a myriad of ways in the energetic imprint that's being displayed this weekend. Not exactly being too sure what we want, maybe questioning everything, trying to find things out, trying to figure things out, trying to decide what it is that we really want, but also maybe feeling like things are just in a state of flux inside of us, outside of us. And there could be some fears that are kind of triggering us throughout the course of this weekend as well. Fears of failure, inadequacy, perhaps, not being able to produce or provide something. Themes having to do with loss or having to let something go. And there could also be some kind of like strong escapism tendencies that are coming through in the energy of Friday, specifically wanting to hide from people, from interactions, from conversations, from reality generally, avoidance. Also, though, sudden change happening and some super bizarre like events, conversations, like finding yourself in a random place, having interaction that you never would have expected or anticipated. This type of thing is actually being indicated, especially in the energy of Friday, but really Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even into Sunday a little bit. Real strong, like unexpected meetings, unexpected information, things that sort of catch us off guard, also like changes to plans happening suddenly. And also, though, sudden awakenings, epiphanies, realizations, light bulb moments, insight into things that could also be bringing us to a point perhaps of like indecision, not knowing what to do, feeling pulled in a couple different directions. Now, there's several reasons why I'm saying all of this. First of all, first and foremost, on Friday, we do, as I mentioned, have Mercury and Uranus coming into exact conjunction with each other in the sky in the sign of Taurus. For this alignment, the moon is going to be in the sign of Pisces, in between Saturn and Neptune in the sign of Pisces right now, which Neptune is like fantasy land and Saturn is like the cold hard facts. Okay, so there's this dichotomy that we're like caught in between energetically in the sign of Pisces, which is literally a symbol of two fish swimming in opposite directions, while we've got this mercurial conjunction, which Mercury is also an energy that has to do with duality and opposition and the twins, two sets of things, whether they be the same things or totally different things. And the alignment with Uranus coming in as well, which is the sudden change, which is the sudden awakening, which is a need to do something different also. So when we consider all of these various factors, and then also the fact that Venus and Mercury right now, which I've been talking about, are in this mutual reception in the sky, this blending of the Venusian and the mercurial energy. Venus is ruling the position or the sign where Mercury and Uranus are conjoining. So what's happening with Venus is going to be playing into what is happening with Mercury and Uranus in their conjunction, but with her in Mercury's sign, and also there with the sun, and also there with Jupiter. This is also, I mean, Gemini, right? The twins, options, choices, decisions, like another glyph where there's two of something, like not maybe exactly knowing what to do. The level of indecision that we could perhaps feel caught between or struggling with or in throughout the course of the weekend is quite notable, okay, in the way that these transits are coming together. So if you find yourself going through an experience where you just don't know what to do, you got two choices, two options, two oppositions maybe, feeling, you know, tug of war going on, going to one way and then the other way, hot and cold, back and forth, not really knowing what to do, that would be a manifestation or a resonance in alignment with the way that this energy is just presenting right now. So something to keep in mind. We've also got 3 planets in the sign of Gemini on Friday as Mercury and Uranus come into their alignment. We've got 3 planets in the sign of Pisces. Both of these signs have to do with duality. Pisces is, you know, the 2 fish swimming in opposite directions, and Gemini, of course, is the sign of the twins. And these 2 signs also square each other. And they're also both mutable energy, which is about change, which is about transition. So there could be honestly like some inherent conflicts coming up, not only between like fantasy and reality, with Neptune and Saturn and the moon being in between them while Mercury and Uranus are coming together in the sky, but also the sun and the moon, both luminaries, the sign of Gemini and the sign of Pisces. Gemini is about the information. It's about like logical, linear, coherent thinking. It's kind of fact-based. And of course, Pisces is this very illusory, like fantasy-based, like illusion-oriented, kind of like a dream world type of energy. So in 2 different ways, we've kind of got fantasy and reality, fact and fiction juxtaposed to each other, this dichotomy coming through, and this pull going on perhaps in 2 separate directions, or feeling caught or suspended somehow in between. And again, it's kind of coming through in all of these various ways. And then we add the conjunction happening with Mercury, of course, ruling the Gemini planets, but in the sign of Taurus. We're probably, people, I'm telling you guys, people are probably going to be changing their minds about things, and indecision is just going to be something that we can't really hide from, I think, as this energy unfolds. Mercury and Venus and their mutual reception, a lot of things are like intertwined and interrelated somehow as well. Like a lot, pretty much, I think a common experience is going to be like strange connections, or us noticing maybe some strange connections or some strange patterns, or like dots, connecting dots or something somehow in regards to like a lot of various things that are happening right now. Like they might seem like different situations, but I think people are going to be finding like common threads, or just like dots that are connecting like multiple different things that happen to be playing out independently, but are like part of sort of like this bigger picture, or this bigger whole that's coming together right now somehow. So I don't know, there's that. But Mercury and Uranus together, let's like, you know, zero in on that energy for a minute. Like this is waking us up, and this is shaking us out of it. This is always going to bring an elevated level of like mental stimulation. It electrifies the mind. It's kind of like a high strung, very wired, like hyper stimulated, very, very fast paced, lightning speed mental energy. It can really like focus on things in a very almost like obsessive way, but it can also just be darting from like one thing to another to another to another. It kind of reminds me of like ADHD energy sort of, but on the same sense, like energy that can like really, really, really hone in and just become like so in the zone of something as a result of like the intuition and the insight. This is also like genius level brilliant energy, okay, when we're dealing with Mercury and Uranus, because our synapses, like the mind is electrified, and the electrical impulses that are responsible for our thought patternings generally tend to be even more accentuated, like even more just fast paced and stimulated when we have this energy going on. So you could be coming to some sudden realization about something, or something like hitting you totally out of the blue. This is very much like light bulb moment energy also. However, I feel like it's also sort of like, because of all the Gemini flavor and the square and the Pisces energy and everything, it's sort of like, the more we figure out, maybe like the more questions that we have, or the more information we gain, or the greater understanding that we're coming to, the more, or the less maybe sure we are about like some other thing that's playing out. Remember how I'm saying there's like weird dots, I feel like, that we could suddenly kind of like connect in this energy as well. Quick thoughts, electrified mind, information coming in very, very quickly as well. Very inventive mind, very intuitive mental energy when we've got this going on. Sudden knowings, sudden understandings, and the ability to correlate it all on these higher levels, okay? And then with Venus and Mercury in that mutual disruption, again, that's important right now to keep in mind, the blending and the fusion of the Venus-Mercury energy in the context of how these aspects and how this energy is playing out right now. This is going to have us wanting something new, wanting something different. So there could be really weird stuff going on. People are likely to be saying weird things that you weren't expecting, maybe acting kind of weird, people catching you off guard, situations catching you off guard, unexpected contacts coming out of nowhere, messages, information, shocks and surprises, and suddenly changing our mind about things. Very impulsive energy as well. Be careful jumping to conclusions. Be careful like making too many assumptions about things, especially with a square going on between the Pisces energy and the Gemini energy. There could be a lack of context that is distorting our ability to have like a clear perception of what's going on. So something to remember as well, this really just, it's not the most straightforward energy, but it's giving us like lots of information or details to sort through, to try to kind of like piece together, right, that overall story that we're navigating right now. So there's lots of indications, okay, especially in the energy of Friday, that things are sort of pulling us maybe in two different directions, and there could be an element of sudden change that is incorporated into all of this somehow as well. Caught between fantasy and reality with the moon in Pisces, between Saturn and Neptune, obligation, duty, responsibility, and also this desire to maybe escape or avoid or hide from things, control versus release and surrender as well, with the dynamic of that lunar energy as the Mercury Uranus comes together. Mercury Uranus is like this sudden burst. People are going to be being really impulsive, especially if they feel like they need to escape something that is overly restrictive, restraining, controlling, limiting their ability to move, their ability to think, their ability to converse freely. Like, people really aren't going to be standing by and bowing down and allowing themselves to really be kind of like overly controlled or dominated in any type of a way with this very strong Uranian impulse that is coming through. Now, of course, we have to talk about the fact that the Mercury Uranus energy alignment's happening in the sign of Taurus. As I said in the beginning, relationships, financial dynamics, work dynamics, partnerships, projects, assets, resources, potential opportunities as well, deals, investments, things to do with land, things to do with the presentation of things also. Listen to some symbolism that we have presenting alongside of the energy on Friday by way of the degree placement where the conjunction between Uranus and Mercury is taking place. We are reading the Sabian symbol for 25 degrees of Taurus. That is where Uranus and Mercury will be coming into their conjunction. That Sabian symbol is a large, well-kept public park. So when we're talking about the Taurian conjunction between Uranus and Mercury there, this could be disturbing the presentation of something that usually appears to be a certain way, usually projects a certain image. There just could be a little bit of disheveling or upheaval or sudden change, twists, turns that kind of shake things up a little bit, we'll put it that way. So I feel like that's an interesting degree where this conjunction is happening, especially considering the Taurian nature of things. It also have to very much to do with like land and resources and the projects that we're working, building, cultivating as well. Maybe it could really though, it does bring solutions. Like, this is a very inventive energy. Like, there could be these flashes of insight that are helping us to solve problems that may have been keeping us stuck or keeping us caught in between, you know, two different options or alternative stuff as well. So there could really much be solutions coming through in this energy as well. But these Taurian themes are just probably highlighted, and that's a very Taurian degree, the well-kept public park, where this energy is coming into exact alignment as well by symbolic placement. So there's that. And then with the whole Gemini component of things and the blending of energy between Taurus and Gemini, this is also going to, of course, indicate, you know, learning something that is very interesting or intriguing or alters our perception or our perspective, awakens us to something somehow, just running into somebody totally random or having that very unexpected encounter. Random opportunities could present themselves right now as well, and there's just this likelihood that things are not clear, things are not transparent, and as I was saying, you know, more questions than answers kind of coming up as a result perhaps of what it is that we're finding out or figuring out or suddenly coming into contact with in this energy. Probably not the most like secure, stable, settled energy. A nervous energy, anxious energy, like an inability maybe to sleep or calm down or relax. That's just something that can happen. It hyperstimulates our nervous system when we've got a strong Uranian influence going on, especially in terms of the mind and the Mercury energy. So if you find yourself just feeling a little bit like cracked out or wired or unable to kind of like calm down, settle down, relax in this energy, that's just Uranus doing its thing in the field. Very stimulating and interesting to the mind, though. It opens things up for us. This is a very excitable energy and a big emphasis on the need to change, wanting something new and something different. We have the sun on Friday when Mercury and Uranus are coming together at 11 degrees of Gemini. That Sabian symbol is newly opened lands, offer the pioneer new opportunities for experience, which is super, super like indicative, I feel like, of the process energetically that is underway right now. Very in alignment with what this energy is trying to do for us. And Venus ruling the position of Mercury and Uranus in their conjunction at 10 Gemini, 1 degree out from her conjunction to the sun. That Sabian symbol is an airplane performing a nosedive. So again, like, this may just not be the most security like oriented energy. There could be a little bit of like risk that we feel like is going on in whatever is playing out right now. Things kind of up and down, right? The airplane, something that goes up, going down, but the airplane, it's not headed for a crash, right? There's going to be a sudden turnaround and it's going to go back up. So again, like, things kind of just going back and forth, up and down, loop-de-loop and all around, and where they land, no one really knows yet at this point in time. But we also, another aspect that we've got going on out there this weekend that we should be aware of is an ongoing Jupiter-Pluto trine in these air signs, early degrees of air signs, that is exact all weekend as well. Jupiter at 2 degrees of Gemini, trining Pluto at retrograde at 2 degrees of Aquarius. Big transformations happening from top to bottom. Again, Pluto is the underworld, Jupiter rules the high heavens, right? So black and white, you know, this idea of polarities and contrast and dichotomies and having to choose, but maybe just feeling caught in between. Okay, I just feel like it's coming through strong in the energy of Friday. Now let's talk about Sunday. Check your chart, you guys. Where do you have 12 Gemini in your chart? Look at the house placement, and that is going to tell you where your new magnetism and creative energy is going to be stimulated in your life throughout the course of this year. There could be something special, I will say, to do with music also as we move through the year, or collaborations somehow. Listen to some symbolism real quick. We have the alignment happening, Sabian symbol 13 degrees of Gemini. That Sabian symbol is a famous pianist giving a concert performance, and Mercury at that point in time, who is ruling the position of the conjunction, because it's happening in Gemini, is at 29 degrees of Taurus via the Sabian symbol placement. And that Sabian symbol is two cobblers working side by side at a table. So again, very strong, even symbolic emphasis on two cobblers working side by side at a table. That is strong Taurian energy being described there. And then the famous pianist giving a concert performance. That is Gemini energy. And when we put these two together, I feel like some type of maybe collaborative or creative musical aptitude, especially in the context of communication or maybe some type of big message with Jupiter also in Gemini, could be like some type of prominent feature somehow of the collective experience as we move through this year. Microcosm, macrocosm happening on maybe a world stage level, but also in our own individual lives somehow, something maybe about harmonics or resonance that is playing just a greater than normal role in various things going on somehow. I don't know, but important songs, messages communicated via music, they could be big themes this year. Also, like these beautiful voices delivering big, powerful messages. This could be something as well. Our coming together of powerful voices, beautiful voices or something somehow, or just again like music, vibration, harmonics, and the impact that it's having in our new creative process somehow. The Sun and Jupiter, or the Sun and Venus coming together, being emphasized in the sign of the messenger, in the sign of communication. So especially if you happen to have the 6th house, the 8th house, or the 12th house activated through this conjunction. If you've got 12 Gemini in your 6th, 8th, or 12th house, music, sound, healing, or playing instruments as well could be especially just like beneficial to your own personal vitality or magnetism or ability to create or produce over the course of the next year while this particular Venus Sun Gemini cycle plays out. Okay, so this is an energy though we have to remember about choices, versatility, and options, and you are likely to change your mind about what you want this year. This could also really be indicating, again, I've been talking about 2024, this is kind of a theme all year, changes in preferences, changes in what we desire and what we want and what we value, suddenly, gradually, realizing it just in one moment that we are totally attracted to different things than we have been in the past, or that we're attracting vastly different things than we have in the past. Recalibrating like our own personal magnetism via rediscovering what it is that we are truly in alignment with, or that we're in alignment with at this point in our lives. I think that's going to be something that we are all kind of like going through, like navigating as this energy unfolds this year. And of course, depending on, what area of your life it's activating via your chart placement, that's going to have a lot to do with how you experience it generally. But it is bringing this blast of fresh air, okay? In the sign of Gemini with Jupiter there as well, new ideas, options, perspectives, alternatives, choices. It is breaking up stagnation, things that have been a certain way for a long period of time and seem like they were never going to change. This will be the year where that change takes place, reinvigorating our heart as well, and like a sense of wonder and curiosity. Gemini also is kind of a very like naive, childlike sign. It does rule children. So we could be, reacquainting ourselves perhaps with the inner child, or just coming back into a more authentic alignment with, as I was saying before, like what really fills us up inside, what is truly fulfilling to us, or in the sign of Gemini, like what it is that we're really interested about. And of course, it could bring up a lot of questions in the context of like the nature of our relationships and financial stuff and all of that as we move through this year as well. So be open to change, you guys. New opportunities are here for us. There is also quite a powerful healing influence and element that is coming through along with this new Sun-Venus cycle. That is because while we have the Sun and Venus in exact alignment, the moon will come into a conjunction with Chiron, actually, conjunction with Mars, conjunction to the North Node, while we have this energy going on. So there's like a fated active healing process is kind of underway as well. And listen to the position of the Earth, okay? This will be 13 Sagittarius, exactly opposing the position where the alignment is taking place with the Sun and Venus at 13 degrees of Gemini, because the Sun and the Earth always oppose each other in astrological terms. So that degree 13 Sag is actually a widow's past is brought to light. Again, we've got sort of like the light in the dark, shining the light into what's been hidden, like things coming out of the closet. I feel like cleaning out our closet, you know what I mean? Like that type of thing, like unsweeping the things that have been brushed under the rug. That's probably also quite a sentiment that we're going to be dealing with throughout the course of the year. And remember, Jupiter trine Pluto, retrograde, air signs, okay? This is also healing and releasing, shining the light into some core issues, some root issues, some old wounds that we haven't been looking at, that we haven't been working through, that we haven't been healing, and that, you know, have been causing us to maybe harbor feelings of guilt or shame or pain that we've been hiding from, that have been blocking our ability to become who we're really meant to be and who we're being called into a greater alignment with at this point in time as we move through this energy. Now, as remember, you guys, we are transitioning into the age of Aquarius. This is not an overnight process. This is a slow and long and gradual process, but a fundamental part of that process is humanity going through a process of self-actualization on individualized levels throughout the course of the time that encapsulates this process of transition. And again, you know, it's not something that we all go through at once, but we are waking up that little spark, or maybe it's a really big and loud spark of soul truth, higher knowing that exists within all of us. That alarm is ringing, you guys. Like, we're being called to answer or heed the call of our soul, right? Again, in little ways, or maybe in ways that are just totally unavoidable that you cannot escape right now. It's going to be different for everybody, but that is a part of our transitional process into the age of Aquarius as we essentially all go through I keep thinking of this word process, and I don't want to keep saying the word process, but like I can't think of another word to say right now, as we all go through this experience of upgrading our frequency essentially in order to align with the new Aquarian frequencies that are coming in and the emanations from the galactic center that are coming in more and more right now as we transition actually out of the darker age Kali Yuga energy that has been holding us captive for the past couple of thousand years, and we head back more into a golden age energy that will bring us back to a point of greater conscious awareness and unity with divine knowledge and understanding and all the galactic truths and everything like that as we head into the age of Aquarius, which is the age of knowledge. So there's a lot actually happening on these greater, more transcendental levels that are really hard for us to see from like our little minute day-to-day perspective, but nudged, we are being slowly but surely into a higher version of ourselves that can be a vessel for these new energies that are coming in, that we are actually rooting to the planet to assist in this process of transition and shift of ages. So we have a purpose right now, you guys, and it is to do our best to become who we know we're meant to be and to conquer our lower selves and to align with our true potential and to activate that destiny. And so if you feel that going on within you, you are right in alignment with the times. And, you know, this is an energy. This whole year is about rediscovering ourselves in that capacity and reinventing ourselves in alignment with the new version vision that is, we're being called to birth moving forward. So this is the year to do it, you guys. That's really what I have to say about the energy of our weekend and of these two alignments going on right now. It is going to be a year of transition, diversification, and change when it comes to the Venetian stuff. Remember, we also have a south node in the sign of Libra, and I've been talking about this as well. Not only do we have Uranus in the sign of Taurus, that is change, shakeups, shaking things loose that have been a certain way for a long period of time. We now also have Venus in the sign of Gemini, that is also changing things, that is creating, like, opening things up and creating a desire for a fresh perspective, alternatives, options, like indecisiveness, all of that when we've got Venus transiting Gemini. And we also have the south node in the sign of Libra, Venus's other sign, all about karmic endings, karmic release from the relationships and the enmeshments and the images that we have aligned with and portrayed in the past. So everything right now really is pointing to a year and a cycle of some type of shifts and changes, but it's as a result of what we're learning, and that's what we need to keep in mind as well. And there's also, again, this healing energy that is intertwined in this, and things are happening in a very fated, destined way. I mean, we've got the moon aligning with the north node when this energy is coming together. We've also this weekend, the Uranian influence has a tendency of being quite divinely oriented in terms of the timing of things as well. So there's a higher plan unfolding right now, you guys, and we're getting like little pieces and breadcrumbs of perspective to connect and put together right now and try to figure out, how we're going to build this thing to reflect who we are truly becoming somehow moving forward. So if you find yourself questioning things this weekend, if you feel kind of all over the place, like things are in a bit of a state of flux, that really is just the nature of the energy right now. And it is meant for us to experiment. Like, we're supposed to be trying things out. We're supposed to be sampling things now. We're supposed to be learning new things. This should provoke quite a bit of curiosity and intrigue and interest perhaps in things. We're supposed to be meeting new people. We're just supposed to be expanding our purview of whatever it is that we're involved in, especially, again, whatever area of life is this energy is hitting in for you. So that's what I have to say today, you guys, about the energy that we have coming through for this weekend. It should be an interesting weekend, very busy weekend, very fast paced, a lot of information, a lot going on, a lot of here and there and everywhere and conversations and phone calls and emails and, again, unexpected, this, that, and the other going on. But for the most part, it's going to bring good things. Uranus makes the changes for us we haven't been able to make for ourselves. Venus, this is generally a benefic energy. So I do think that it's, for the most part, going to be good stuff, but it could just be a little bit unsettling, shaking the foundation type of things as well, causing shakeups, uncertainty, insecurity, but things are opening up. And our synchronicity card for the day says dream, which, of course, like I said, we're sort of caught in this realm of between fantasy and reality. And there is a strong Piscean energy that is accompanying everything, especially in the energy of Friday when we have the moon transiting through Pisces and heading into conjunction with Neptune. So our advice for the weekend, you guys, dream and shout for joy, all ye who are upright in heart. Psalms 32:11. Your biggest joy will be in the knowledge that you have overcome setbacks and disappointments. Be persistent, believe in your dreams, and continue going forward. God does not give us a dream without giving us the means to also attain that dream. One thing that I forgot to mention that this is reminding me of, I can't believe I didn't say this. I totally forgot somehow, or glossed over it in my notes. The moon in Pisces is also going to be forming an opposition to the black moon in Virgo this weekend, which could be triggering some of these unconscious fears. I think I said it in the beginning, but I just didn't say why I was saying that. Fears of failure, insecurity, fears that, we're not good enough, or we're not going to be able to produce something, or, we just can't do it somehow. That could be where we're feeling sort of caught in between, should I take the chance? Should I go for it? Should I do what I know I'm feeling called to do? Or should I like take the safe way, you know, should I stay with what I know? Should I go down the like path that is more well trodden, or whatever that saying is? Neptune and Saturn, it's like what I'm supposed to do, and what my, like, the dream, the fantasy, like what I wish I could do, the ideal, you know what I mean? So our advice for this weekend is to dream and to not doubt ourselves. See, that's another thing. This is an energy also that I meant to say in the report. So if you guys made it with me this far, good job, because I meant to say this stuff back a while ago, but I guess I missed it somehow. Because of the building Black Moon Neptune opposition that's going to start being activated, because the Black Moon is getting near the end of Virgo and we have Neptune at the very end of Pisces right now, a lot of the projections, a lot of the fears, a lot of the illusion, like a lot of the, like, the worries and the anxieties that are coming up, and like the fears of failure and stuff, like there's going to be a great level of illusion to that. A lot of it's going to be very illusory, and a lot of what we're afraid of moving through this energy over the next couple weeks is actually, we're going to find like it was never even real. Okay, so there's something with that as well. If there are fears coming up, we do need to trust, okay, that we can do it. And a level of self-doubt could really be a thing right now, but this energy is saying, you know, hold to your dreams, maintain your vision, and believe in yourself, because you can do it. Okay, this is a time where we are, our soul is like seeking expression and alignment with the higher purpose, with the truth, with the latent destiny that we're being called to activate. And if there is some vision or some passion or some dream that is stirring within you right now, it's not for no reason, okay? And it doesn't necessarily mean to like blindly jump into something in a very naive way, like head first. That's not what we want to be doing, but gathering information, gaining information, learning about it, increasing your skill sets. Gemini energy is all about, well, I mean, it's like what we can do with our hands. It's like our talents and our abilities and like our bag of tricks, you know what I mean? It's the magician energy and the tarot. It's like our ability to manifest based on our varying skill sets. This is a really good time for learning new skills this year, acquiring new information that can help you to translate those dreams into reality. So that's another thing that this year is doing for us. And I feel like this messaging is sort of indicating, right? Like if you have a dream, if you have a vision, but you're doubting yourself, okay, or you're wondering, you know, it feels like maybe I can't do it, I don't know. Don't give up on that dream. Don't give up on that vision, but don't jump into it necessarily. What you need to do is learn as much about it as you can and acquire as much information as you can, acquire as many skills, expand your skill set, right? Expand your talent stack in a way that will make that vision a more realistic thing for you to be able to step into going forward. Prepare yourself, build yourself, grow yourself into the person that is capable of living that life and performing those tasks and doing that dream, you know? So that's what I feel like that is a productive, valuable way to use information right now. And also Venus, Mercury, mutual reception, the value of information, paramount right now. Okay, I could go on and on and on and do this forever, but I'm going to stop talking now. Dream, that is our advice for the weekend, you guys. That's what I have to say for my video today. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think that they would like this astrology content too. Leave me comments, you guys. I'm super grateful for your presence here. I really appreciate knowing what's going on with you guys. Like I always say, if you're having experiences that line up with what I'm talking about in these videos, please let me know in my comment section below. That is valuable information to me, Gemini Ascendant. And I will see you guys next time. Come back with me on Monday. We're going to be getting right into our fresh week of astrology, and we're going to have a lot to talk about. So I'll be here to talk about it. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it. I will see you next time, everybody. Have a beautiful weekend, and until then, bye guys.